Hey guys, it's Jen and I have a fun little video to share with you today. Emily at Stencil Revolution contacted me and asked me if she could send me some stencils, and they have a lot of really fun stencils and I picked a few out, and I wanted to share a little project I'm going to create with them today. Really quick, I'll show you the stencils that I got. I'll link to the supplies in the video description, but first I got this little 6x6 stencil that has kind of like a plaid looking pattern, and I also got this 6x6 stencil with a wood grain background. Now they have awesome mandala stencils, mandala, however you want to say it, and so I got two of those in the larger 12x12 size, and this one is the one I'm going to be using today, I'm pretty sure. Super cool, very pretty. And I also got this one. I can't remember what they're called right now, but like I said, I'll link to them in the video description if you want to check them out. They also have really awesome stencils for like large stencils if you want to stencil on your walls or anything like that. So be sure to check them out. But I am going to be using, like I said, this stencil here. And what I'm going to be scrapbooking today are these photos of my daughter. She organized all her colored pencils, and I'm going to be using the Shimelle collection, Head in the Clouds. I've had it for a while and haven't really dug into it, and this was the perfect opportunity. A, because it's colorful and so are the photos, but also because of the way that when you use crayons and colored pencils and stuff like that, like, she loves to draw and anything she can imagine can come true, so it's kind of a whimsical topic, and so I thought that this would go perfectly, especially because on the chipboard sheet it says daydreamer and night planner, and that is exactly what she is. She always, in the middle of the night, well, it seems like the middle of the night, when she's supposed to go to bed, she sits up and organizes things and plans out what she's going to do the next day and that kind of thing. So it was the perfect little jumping off point for this layout. So that's where I'm going to start, and I am going to do some misting with this stencil on my background. So we'll start with that.
Alright, so I've pulled some different spray mist colors that I think will work, and I just chose like a dark pink, a yellow, and a blue because I want to be able to create the colors in between. So I want to get orange and I want to get some green as well. And after I sprayed it all down, there was so much ink left over that I flipped the stencil over onto another piece of cardstock to make another print, and then I'm going to spritz a little bit of water on it, and then I'm going to turn it over again, and I'm basically stamping with it. So I did this with about 3 or 4 different sheets. I also just took a paper towel and wiped the stencil off, and what I wiped off came through the stencil. So this will create backgrounds for other layouts. So I'm going to use this bright one, the first one that I spritzed, and I am cutting up my photos. I printed them on 2 4x6 sheets of photo paper, but I'm cutting them apart. And now I'm trying to decide what I want to use with this. I like the stripe from this Head in the Clouds collection, and it matches it really well, so I'm thinking about that, but I'm also looking through all of the other papers to see if there's anything that I might want to use for a background, because I'm contemplating cutting up the mandala paper. At this point, I'm still thinking I might use it for a full background and maybe cut it in half and put it on another piece of paper. So that's what I'm looking at now. I kind of wish I would have done this, but I go another route and you'll see, or you saw at the beginning. So I'm trying to decide like what paper could I use this with, and then I thought maybe it would look better if I cut it out. So I just take some scissors and I'm cutting it out, and I am going to use it on the side or the top of my layout. And I'm just trying to decide what paper it would look best with. So I kind of liked the idea of doing it on this notebook paper because she's organizing her colored pencils, so it seemed appropriate. And you see I'm going back and forth a lot. I just can't decide. I'm trying to use a pattern paper background because I never do, but I will end up switching. I think I end up switching to a white cardstock, but I'm going to start with this yellow, and I do actually like the way that the yellow looks, but I go with something else. So I know I want to use the Sentiment Daydreamer Night Planner because that's kind of what inspired me, and it definitely seemed like my daughter. And I'm looking at the various pieces, the chipboard pieces and the thickers, to see what else might work here. I like the idea of using Dream It, Do It, the little rainbow, and I won't end up incorporating it, but I liked the idea of it. So I kind of knew all along that I wanted to embellish by color, kind of on top of the mandala. And I keep wanting, I don't know if I should say mandala or mandala, and I keep saying both, so whatever. But I'm moving things around a lot, and that's basically going to be how this layout goes, is me moving things around a lot. At this point, I'm thinking I'm going to go with it as it is now and maybe put some different stickers and embellishments on top of the mandala in the different colors. And I'm using, as I think I mentioned it at the beginning, but I'm using like these very whimsical illustrations and stickers and different pieces because she can draw anything. She can, like, kind of the sky's the limit when you're doing artwork, and she has a very good imagination. And so I thought it was appropriate to put all these kinds of different things on there. So now I've switched to a white background, and I'm trying to figure out how the heck I'm going to do this. I just don't quite know. So I cut out the other piece of this, and I thought maybe if I put these on the outsides, then that gives a home for the photos in the middle of them, and it will look cool. So at this point, I'm thinking I will put one to the side and one in the center, and then I just moved them both to the center. I couldn't figure out what I was doing, if you can't tell. I just kept playing around. And I think that this layout would be really cool if I hadn't added a lot of embellishment, because it would have really let the stencil shine. I'll show you another layout at the end that I will create a layout like that, but this one is all about the stuff, and I'm just going to keep layering things on. I'm going to put more and more and more because sometimes more is more, and that's how I was feeling. So yeah, I'm going to just embellish this one a lot. And you can at any point, like as you're watching my layout, I've heard Shimelle say this a lot of times before, but like you can see at any point like where you would have stopped, and if you're creating a similar layout, then stop where you want to. So I'm cutting up some 3x4 cards from that cut apart sheet, and rather than using the chipboard piece that inspired this layout, I'm going to use the 3x4 card because I feel like it just fits better, and I'm just going to make that whole row go from end to end, and then I'll have a place for my journaling too. So I'll just trim off the edges there, and you can see I purposely chose things that would go in the rainbow order too. So the green one and blue one is going on the left hand side where the green and blue is on the mandala, and then the pink one on the right side where there's pink on the mandala. And then, so really my title ends up being this black chipboard sticker that says Everyday Adventures, and I thought that was just a really good title. So I'm just playing around with the stickers and pulling out different things, and I'm going to just put them all around on the different colors. And this is going to take me a while just to keep playing and figuring things out. I'm just choosing all of the different colors, so I'll go with like a teal blue color, a green, a yellow, a pink, and kind of like an orangey color. And I don't do any purple because there's no purple on the rainbow that I created. So I'm going to play around with these, and I'm going to pop some of them up on foam. And so that's what you see me cutting up there. I just like to use fun foam. It's adhesive backed on one side, and then I'll just add the adhesive to the other side. It's very inexpensive, and I have a lot of it, and it goes a long way. So it makes me happy. So I'm going to pop up that dragon. I'm just adding a little adhesive to the back. And where I'm putting everything right now, I'll end up pulling everything off and kind of moving things around and shifting things a bit. Just as I get more and more things that I want to include, I kind of decide to move some things. So you can just play around with this until you're happy with the way that it looks. And again, you could definitely do less than what I'm doing. I did a lot, and it was just making me happy sometimes it just makes me happy to keep adding stuff. And so if it makes you happy, then it's not wrong. And that's what I am going with. So, yeah, just finding things and adding them on and enjoying myself. I think this would also look cool if rather than spreading all of the embellishments all over the mandala, I could have kept all of my embellishments close to the photos so that there was a lot of busyness going on in the center, and then your eye could really focus on that cool stencil on the edges, but I didn't do that. So, but just ideas for you in case you want to take it a different direction than what I did. Honestly, when I was done with this layout, it made me really happy to make, but I wasn't like, sometimes after I make a layout, I'm thinking, oh, it looks so pretty at the end. And I wasn't thinking that after I finished this one. But I had fun. So sometimes it's about the process and sometimes it's about the finished result. And this time it was definitely about the process. And I think that's totally okay. So, I went through my Paige Evans Whimsical collection because there are a lot of artsy kind of things in that collection. So I'm pulling out some paints and some pencils from her collection to include. And I also went through and found my Shimelle puffy stickers from Box of Crayons. And this is the perfect place for me to include a chameleon. And I'm happy to do so. And so I will end up adding a few of these puffy stickers as well. So I'm going to skip ahead a little bit because, like I mentioned, I pulled everything off and then I put it all back on. I searched through a bunch of things. I searched through my Paige Evans die cuts and pulled out some more stuff. And then I also searched through my Shimelle die cuts and pulled out some more stuff that I wanted to use. So you can see me looking through my box there. That's how I keep my embellishments. They're in little photo cases by manufacturer. And so this is my Shimelle box, and I'm going to use that little lenticular shape as well that says, make your dreams real or something. I can't remember what it says. And then when you kind of move it, you can see like pink leaves. So it changes when you move it. I hope you know what I'm talking about, but it's that little circle at the top right there. Okay, so I went and got my Shimelle sticker book, which is mostly used up, and I was trying to see if there was anything else in here that I could use because, again, I'm on this more is more kick, and sometimes it's just so fun for me to find just the right embellishment. And so, yeah, that's kind of what I was going for. So in the die cuts, it had the same shapes that were in the stickers and the sticker book, which is where I pulled a lot of those from, but they were larger, and so I liked adding in the larger unicorn, and so I switched out my small blue unicorn sticker for a large die cut. And then I also grabbed that green, it's kind of a label shape that you could journal on, but I'm going to add that as a die cut. And then I love that rainbow die cut, and I can't remember if that's from Box of Crayons, maybe. I can't remember where the rainbow die cut comes from. It could be from this collection, but I'm not sure. So now I kind of pulled everything off when I decided to add in some of those larger die cuts. And so now I'm kind of putting everything back on because all I did was move it off to the side a little bit. You can see them all surrounding my layout there, all those stickers. And so now I'm going to just add back in what makes sense. So because my title, Everyday Adventures, is that black chipboard piece, I wanted to add in some more heavy pops of black. So I found that word that says create, and it's on like a pointed nib pen. And I think that's from Box of Crayons. And I found that in my die cuts, and I put that below my right hand photo. And then later I will stamp my date with black and also to complete like a visual triangle of the black. So what I'm cutting here are some clouds from a paper from the Shimelle Whimsical collection, and I just thought they looked really fun. That the collection from Shimelle is called Head in the Clouds, and these clouds just happen to match that colorful background that I created, and so I found a bunch of them. I'm popping some of them up and laying some of them flat. And I will find one more that's aqua to go on the bottom because I felt like I just needed another one because I have 3 at the top, and then I'll put one more down at the bottom. I'm looking for one in the Head in the Clouds collection, but it's not, I've used all of the color blue that I wanted. In fact, I also pulled out this packaging and I punched a cloud out, but because all of the 5 other clouds are the same, it felt out of place to me. It did turn out cute and I just stuck it back in with my die cuts, but I went to find that Paige Evans paper and I'm going to cut out another cloud from it because I wanted them to all be the same, and I knew that there was a blue one on there. So you'll see that a little bit later. I'm going to use 2 little word strips. That one says yay, and then there's one on top of the green kind of journaling card as well. And actually, after I finished the video, I added a yellow one at the very bottom. I think you can see it in the close-up photos at the end. I'm also adding in some puffy stickers that are hearts from the Head in the Clouds collection. I love when Shimelle includes those hearts in her collections. They're so fun and easy to use on everything. So here I've kind of fast forwarded. I went and got that paper and cut out that blue cloud. Sorry, it's a little bit cut off on the bottom. I don't think I realized I was slightly out of frame there, but I'm just adding in that blue cloud. And now I'm trying to decide if I need any more of these little hearts. Trying to make sure I have kind of a visual triangle of the hearts. And then I'm also going to use up some more of these little, they're glitter enamel shapes from the Head in the Clouds collection too. And I'm just using some circles and some stars and then the little kind of twinkle shape. It's like a diamond sort of shape. And I'm just kind of scattering those around. And at this point, I'm thinking, okay, I should probably be about done. So I'm going to go ahead and write my journaling. I'm glad I left myself a spot on that journaling card to write down my journaling. And I'm just, again, talking about how my daughter, when it was like 11:15 at night, decided to organize her colored pencils. And I was like, what are you doing? But she is a daydreamer and night planner for sure. So at this point, I'm just wanting to fill in a couple more things. I thought about using the stamp set and decided against it. And I think I was looking for something specifically yellow or a bigger die cut to stick at the bottom because I felt like it was missing something. This is where I'm going to go and grab my Heidi Swap roller date stamp and stamp the date in black, and that pretty much completes it.
Okay, so here's the layout that I created using that. There's Malia saying hi, interrupting. Anyway, using that cool stencil, and you might remember that as I was creating, I had lots of leftover ink, so I did some extra little backgrounds. So I created another layout that uses the same concepts, but it's a less is more kind of layout. And so it uses the same supplies, but look how different it is because I only used a few products and let the background stand out. So those are 2 very different types of layouts using the same kinds of supplies. So you can see here, this is the layout that after I spritzed all of this, I flipped the stencil over and then just rubbed it down on the background. So you get a cool different look from that. And then I used some of the chipboard pieces from that Shimelle Head in the Clouds collection, and I used a few stickers from the sticker sheet and the sticker book. Actually, I think I only used stickers from the sticker book. And then I also used, this is hard to see, but I used the stamp set from Head in the Clouds as well that has these cool, I love this stamp set. But I used the clouds and the word adventures. So the clouds are kind of hard to see, but I just stamped them tone on tone on the different colors. The pink ones are kind of really hard to see. But then the word adventures as well, tone on tone, just to add a little bit something extra. And then I added 3 little cameras. And this photo is from when I was in Phoenix for Creativation. Shimelle had a meetup at Joanne, and so this is the group of us that were able to meet up and had so much fun. We were definitely starry-eyed. I wanted to show you a couple of ways too to use this collection on pages that don't have to be Disney or don't have to be, it's thinking outside the box a little bit. So on this page, I was talking about my daughter and organizing her colored pencils and all the different things that she thinks of to draw with her colored pencils. And so the sky's kind of the limit. And so I just used a whole bunch of different whimsical pieces like the mermaids and the dragons and the unicorns. And on this one, I used the sentiment starry-eyed to represent something where we were kind of starstruck with Shimelle. So
here are a bunch of photos of both of those layouts. Hopefully you can see how awesome that stencil looks. In real life, it looks less busy than it does in the photos and on the video, really. Here's that second layout as well. I think that stencil just was really, really fun to play with on this, and I kind of want to try it with some other mediums as well. So we'll, if I do that, I will definitely share them with you here. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to check out stencilrevolution.com, and if you don't subscribe already, consider hitting that subscribe button. Here are a couple other videos you might enjoy, and don't forget to join us in our Facebook group, Crafty Use It or Lose It. It's always linked in the video description, and there's lots of fun and inspiration there. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.